Hey everyone. Today we're jumping right into a huge topic, AI in the classroom. Now, if you've been paying attention, you've seen the promises from edtech companies. They're all saying AI is going to be this magical time saver for teachers. But when you look a little closer, you realize there's a really big choice we all have to make. So, let's get into it. If you're a teacher, you know this scene all too well, right? You've got this amazing research-backed curriculum in front of you. But here's the thing. It wasn't designed for your specific students. It wasn't made for the multilingual learners, or the kids who are a bit behind, or the ones who just need a visual to finally have that aha moment. So what do? You spend hours adapting, creating, and searching for the perfect materials. And those hours, they seriously add up. We're talking 25, even 30 hours a week spent on stuff that isn't actual face-to-face teaching time. That's basically a whole other job. And it's this exact pain point that this new wave of AI tools is promising to solve. They promise to give you back your Sundays. But there's a really important question we have to ask first. Now listen closely, because these two things are not the same. Not at all. Just being more efficient doesn't automatically mean better learning for your students. This question right here, efficiency versus actual professional growth, that's the core tension we're going to unpack today. So, let's start with what's most common out there right now. The first wave of AI tools hitting the market. And they're all about one thing, speed. They make this really seductive promise, right? To just slash that 30-hour workload. But you guessed it, this promise, it comes with a catch. Most of these tools are what a Stanford researcher, Dorottya Demszky, calls LLM wrappers. The best way to think about it is like this. They take a super powerful but generic AI, think ChatGPT, and they just slap a school-themed logo on it. They put a thin layer of educational branding on top and sell it as a revolution. And their number one goal is productivity, saving time. And this right here really shows you the massive gap in quality. Just look at the feedback. A generic AI, it's prescriptive. It just says, this is wrong, fix it. But an expert teacher, they're dialogic. They ask questions like, hey, what were you trying to say here? To actually understand the student's thinking. The AI's comments are just a bunch of disconnected notes, while a great teacher builds a whole story of how to get better. So here's the crucial point. This efficiency trap has hidden costs, big ones. Research is starting to show that teachers often just accept the AI suggestions as they are, without tweaking them. And maybe even worse, students are way less likely to actually act on feedback if they think it came from a machine and not from their teacher. So what's the result of all this? Yeah, you're getting your work done faster, but are the kids actually learning more? The evidence says probably not. So this brings us to a really powerful idea, a big reframe. What if instead of just chasing speed, we chased something way more meaningful? What if we completely shifted the goal of using AI in the first place? This one question from Demszky's lab at Stanford, it changes everything. The whole goal pivots from how can AI save me time to something much better. How can AI actually help me become a better teacher? And this illustrates the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got AI as a replacement. It spits out a full lesson plan, you accept it, and boom, you save time. But on the right, you have AI as a support for your professional judgment. It doesn't give you the lesson plan. It gives you multiple ways to teach a concept. And then you, the expert in the room, you get to select, adapt, and learn from those options. The goal is no longer just to save time. It's to develop your own expertise. To really get this shift in thinking, let's use a super simple metaphor. Just think about the very first time you learned how to ride a bike. Your parent didn't just hop on the bike and start pedaling for you, right? I mean, that would have been faster, but it wouldn't have taught you a single thing. No, instead, they ran alongside you with one hand on the back of the seat, giving you just enough support to keep you from falling over while you figured out how to balance. And here's the key. The goal was never for them to become a permanent part of your bike. The whole point was to build up your own skills so that eventually you could ride all by yourself. And that is exactly how we should be thinking about the best kind of AI tools, as temporary scaffolds that help us build our skills, not as permanent crutches that replace them. So, what does this AI as a mentor idea actually look like in the real world? This isn't just theory. Let's dig into some really fascinating examples from the research. Okay, so in a series of really well-designed studies, teachers got automated feedback on how they used something called talk moves. These are specific questioning strategies that really get students thinking deeply. After just 2 sessions with this feedback, Those teachers used these powerful techniques 20% more than a control group.
Let that sink in. A 20% improvement in actual teaching practice after only 2 tries. This isn't about getting a task done faster. This is about real, measurable growth in a teacher's skill set. It's about becoming a better, more effective educator.
A fantastic example of this in action is a tool called Tutor Copilot. It was built to help tutors who work with low-income students. So when a student gets something wrong, the AI suggests expert ways to respond. But, and this is the most important part, the tutor is always in the driver's seat. They choose, they edit, they adapt the suggestions. The AI isn't replacing the tutor, it's mentoring them, right in the moment. And the results? They're pretty stunning. For tutors who started out with lower effectiveness ratings, using Tutor Copilot boosted their students' pass rates from 56% all the way up to 65%. That is a massive 9 percentage point jump. It's proof that when AI is built to mentor and support, not replace, it has a direct and really positive impact on student learning. And this idea goes way beyond just tutoring. There's another tool called ScaffGen that helps teachers with that classic Sunday afternoon problem adapting curriculum. It generates different ways to show a problem or creates visual aids, all while making sure the core challenge of the lesson stays intact. It helps teachers get better at differentiating for all their students. Okay, so now that we know all this, the question becomes, what do we do about it? How do we actually move from that efficiency trap to this much better model of professional learning? Well, it really comes down to us demanding better from our tools and from our own professional learning. Here are 3 concrete things you can do. First, audit the tools you're already using. Ask a simple question. Does this support my judgment, or does it just automate my decisions? Second, we need to redesign professional development. The goal shouldn't just be learning how to use a tool. It should be learning how to critique a tool. And third, advocate. Whether you're a teacher in a classroom or a district leader, start demanding tools that are designed to make you a better professional, not just a faster worker. At the end of the day, the AI market is going to follow what educators demand. This technology is here and it is not going away, but we have a real choice in how we decide to shape it. Are we going to settle for tools that just help us get through our work faster? Or are we going to demand tools that actually help us grow? The choice is ours.